Right, we're back. Another episode of Kidder Street Noise, and it's the big one this week. The FA Cup preview. Everyone's excited for Sunday's game. We're all going, aren't we?
Yeah.
Early start Sunday.
Yeah, very early. 8 o'clock from the pub, so...
How are you getting there?
I'm driving down, taking a little girl and wife who's a Chef Wednesday fan, so... It's a win-win.
She won a Wednesday top.
No. Well, the mum's got a pub on Bramall Lane. She's a big Sheffield United. Well, she isn't. Her fella is. So it's like park on there. So
is that
it's
home
a case
pub?
of it's a massive home pub and like
Try not to get beat up on me.
yeah. Well, Jess's mum says don't come in. And if you win, definitely do not come in because I'll be on guard, mate.
I don't even want to think about it. People keep saying like, "Oh, what are you gonna do if we win?" Like, yeah, out Sunday night. It's just like I don't even want to think about it. I can't think about what's going to happen if we're going to win. All I can think about is like, right, let's just get to the game. I'm trying my best not to think about it, but you can't help it, can you?
Yeah, out Sunday night. Out Sunday night, out Monday morning.
I'll see you Wednesday, love.
See you a week on Tuesday.
But yeah, this podcast is going to be a long one. Lots to talk about. Lots to preview, but we need to go back over last week, which has been a so-so week.
Yeah.
If we recorded this podcast on Saturday, it would have been gutted. Yeah. Not gutted. Deflated.
A downer after how disappointing a night it was at Stoke.
Yeah. So we'll start with the Stoke result. Did you go to Stoke, Dan?
I didn't. I was at a 50th.
Did you watch it though?
I watched the first half in there and then at 2-0 I was like, right, tequila rosé please, boy man.
Put the music channel on, please.
Karaoke, American Pie, I'm out of here.
Awful performance. And it were bad. I don't know whether it was just me. I was weren't in the mood for it at all. I can't get excited to go to Stoke. I've been that many times. We've been battered every time I've gone. And like we stopped off in this village called Congleton.
Yeah, it was
like,
a very strange place, really.
First bar we went in were like an acoustic band playing songs I've never heard. Like, it were an NPC bar. Like the people in there had no personalities whatsoever.
Yeah, and it was all like craft beers
So I got a pint of cider. It were like dishwater. You know, like all the stuff that gets stuck when you got like onions chopping sink and stuff. It was just that at bottom. I was like, I took like a mouthful of it. I thought I can't drink any more of that. So I went into like another bar. Got back on bus. Then went away to Bet 365. And the rest of the night we just got
good
even
following
worse.
Though, by the way.
Yeah, I think we took about 2,000, didn't we?
Yeah, just short of 2,000, which for Friday night on Sky. I know I've been in good form and everything, but it's good following.
Stoke is cold in the best of days anyway.
Yeah.
You know, in the height of summer it's freezing, but on a Friday night when it's just snowed as well.
Stoke and Preston train station.
Preston train station.
The two coldest places though.
We so where our seats were was like right in the top right corner if you're looking at the away end. So we were behind the metal shuttering at the side, if you will. So it weren't too bad where we were stood, but I feel sorry for the people like in the middle of the away end because once that wind picked up, it were absolutely bolting.
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, this is honest truth. I've still not seen a score at Stoke. Not seen a score. 3-0 down.
Last season we won 1-0, but
As soon as third goal went in, I went straight downstairs.
Yeah.
I just had enough. I weren't in the mood anyway, and then went outside, got a hot dog, sat on coach, and someone, it's 3-1. I'm like, very funny. And they were like, no, it's 3-1. I'm like, alright, fair enough. And they were like 3-2, and then there were people like running to get back at ground. I just thought, even if we equalise, I'm still not happy with a point at Stoke. Yeah. I'd been happy with equalising, but I wouldn't have been like running back at ground like up pitch and like buzzing to get a point. I went at 20th place Stoke. Like, it weren't that big of a deal. But yeah, the amount of times I've been, the first 4 times we went, we didn't even have a shot on target. And then the first time I didn't go in the Prem was when Rashina scored the worldie.
Yeah.
And then since then I've just never gone, apart from Friday night.
I don't think I've been a couple of times. I haven't seen us win either. So, but I haven't been since we've been in Championship. I don't think so.
So, what went wrong Friday? Talk us through it.
we just gave them way too much space. The opportunities that they got, especially in that first half, could have been like 4 or 5 nil all the time. They obviously hit bar before they scored, and then had a penalty appeal which was wrongly waved away. In
I thought
my
they could have
opinion.
had 2 penalties, really. Without my Rovers glasses on.
Yeah, just we looked like we'd gone back into a shell. You know, we just didn't look confident at all.
I was scared of him.
Yeah. Probably what you could call an away performance that we'd associate more with like the first half of the season.
Yeah, a bit timid, weren't we?
Yeah, we saw like Coventry and Wigan and Burnley, games like that. Yeah, it was just all too easy for them.
Why is that though? Like, why can we just go from bullying teams like against Sheffield United? We were on top from the first minute, and even though Sheffield United are a bigger team than us, we bullied them for 90 minutes against
the most Tony Pulis team I've ever seen, Sheffield United.
Yeah,
just pumping it forward. Everyone's 6'3".
Yeah, I think Sheffield United have always been like that, though, haven't they?
Yeah.
Apart from Billy Sharp, he brings average down, but like,
but his attitude just brings it up there because that's like
he's horrible, isn't he? How's he not been banned for that punch, by the way?
Yeah, should have been.
That's the worst. Well, I mean, the referee. It's not the worst referee I've seen in a while because there's always a bad one every single week in EFL.
Every game, probably,
yeah.
I think obviously the bit that I watched from the Stoke, I was trying to watch the first half, and their midfielders, it's small ball, and who's the little guy, the tall lad.
Josh Lawrence from Reading. See, I wanted us to sign him at somewhere because they were free from Reading. So
they ran the show.
Yeah,
they just out-muscled. They were just a step ahead, I think.
Smallbone's a very good player. Looking at him, very leggy, good looking as well.
Yeah.
But like the goals, I thought. So like a lot of people were like blaming Dolan for not tracking back and stuff, and there is like if the fullback's scoring a back post, yeah, you need to look at the winger. But I just think Pickering's gone too far inside. I think when you're man marking like that, once you get into the box or in and around the penny spot, it becomes positional after that.
You've got to pass them on, haven't you?
Yeah, so I think as a fullback, if you're at the back post, you shouldn't go back past the back post. Like as soon as the young man goes further inside than that, you're either telling Hyam or telling Carter, like left shoulder, right shoulder, whatever. You can't be running all the way into the penny spot with him because you're leaving a massive gap behind you. Probably the most dangerous place to score from as well. And obviously he's done it twice for both Hoover's goals. I just think like it's frustrating because Dolan's going to get the blame for it. I just think in them situations you can just position. It's going to be hard. Like if three of their players run into the penny spot, I still trust Hyam to win the header over three of them. Yeah. If the cross comes in.
I mean, do you think Dolan probably a bit leggy? I don't know. He's played a lot of football, which for him he hasn't done consistently for Rovers. You know, I mean, no one could argue with the team. No. He had to play the same team.
Yeah, you couldn't change
it. It warranted that from that performance. You know, obviously previous, but, you know, obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? We can look back and go, well, could he have dropped him? But it gets for a lot of running, Dolan, doesn't he? So,
I memean, if he'd have swapped him for Diaz or...
Would he attract him back?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't know, do you?
You know what I mean?
So it's all, like you said, hindsight's a wonderful thing. It's all hypothetical. Don't really know, do we? No. We're just making it up. The Gale handball at 2-0.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He saved it. He saved it.
I just don't understand what the rest...
Should be a penalty.
Like, he's got the clearest view of it as well.
He's looking. How can you not give it?
I mean, I think does the first two for Stoke that he's not given, does that affect his decision?
One of them Stoke still score from that phase of play, so do you go those counts? And that one was probably a bit more clear.
Yeah.
So you think, right, okay, well, yeah, they should have a penalty, but they scored from that phase of play. Ours is just stonewall and it's a game changer. At 2-1, that game's
just before half time.
That game's completely different.
Yeah.
And then, even if I know you're saying like points at Stoke, whatever, a point would be better than nothing. Would have been better than nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But I think, like, even now we're recording it, we're annoyed Friday night, annoyed all weekend about it. But you look at the other results since then, Stoke have picked up quite a lot. And I keep saying that, like, all season I've said, are they going to make a later playoff push? And eventually Alex Neil will get it right and there will be a top championship team.
I think next year they'll be up there, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you don't probably... I watched last... I don't know, most of the second half against Middlesbrough midweek. Stoke should have won that game.
Yeah, they should. They were on top for most.
You know what I mean? And Middlesbrough,
and the Middlesbrough goal came through Ben Pearson's mistake. It weren't like Middlesbrough carved them open. All the clear-cut chances were from Stoke's side.
You know, we've lost. You know, that 3-2 result flattered us, really, because it should have been more to Stoke. They could have had it put to bed. Should have had it put to bed by 4 or 5 at all time because we were horrendous that first half. But, you know, like I said, they will be up there next year, definitely. They'll be my tip for next season.
Apart from us. If we're still here.
We'll be already up that block about
that. So yeah, we followed the Stoke result up with a good win at home. Would you say?
Yeah.
The Reading game was obviously last night. We're recording this on Thursday, so last night it was a 2-1 win against Reading.
Many hard work, didn't we?
Yeah, a weird one. You come off almost shaking your head because you're just like, why can't we just do it the easy way? You know.
Yeah. We could have been 4-0 up before they had a shot.
We are crying out for a striker, and I think we have been most of the season, haven't we? Obviously, but I mean, if we had, I don't know, like a classic Jordan Rhodes, someone like
Jokeres.
You know what I mean? We'd have been flying. We'd have been top 2, I think, because that's all we're missing. There's that many games where with 1-0s or like the Birmingham at home, and even I know it was in the cup and stuff, and they clawed it back. But they're the games you look at where you think we'd have put that to bed, because we've had so many chances. A lot of them not necessarily clean cut, but where them half chances were like a Rose, like Jokeres or whatever. They put them to bed. Do you know what I mean?
I just think like the rest of the top 6 have all got that one player. I know Diaz has still got quite a few goals this season, and he's back to scoring ways now, 2 in his last 2. I just think so. Like Luton, they've got Morris, haven't they, who seems to score every week. I mean, Sheffield United have got quite a few number 9s that all seem to pop up with goals. Like Njai's got off the bottle a bit. Borough have got Archer and Akpom. And we just Gallagher, he offers a lot to the team, and people have said like we win a lot more games with him than we do without him.
Yeah.
But I just think if you could get someone with that work rate who can also score goals, then I think it puts you miles up there instead of pottering about on the edges.
I think there were a chance in second half with Gallagher, and unless if you passed it or it was like a snapshot where you think if that was anybody else, they'd just put that in net. But he did lose a lot on the ball. I feel like I don't know if he's sometimes because he's running that much, his brain's just not keeping up with his feet. I just think he's a bit dim. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between being a great player and an okay player.
See, a lot of people go on about his work rate and like how he does defensively, but I think he's dim defensively.
Yeah.
How many times does he close someone down and they just cut inside? There were one yet last night.
I think he's tracking back for Stoke's third goal. I mean, how he didn't stop that ball coming into the box.
Yeah. So the second goal was bad as well because he fell over one of their players and then just looked at ref like the guy who crossed the ball with 5 yards from me could have got back up and challenged the cross and made it a lot harder. And then the third goal, he's wriggled through him so easily. But there was one last night towards the Riverside where he's run across, and like the guy is more or less on the touchline, and he's gone to fake it like he's in the clear down line, cut inside. Gallagher's stuck his leg out. He nearly hurdled the advertising boards. They're like, "What are you trying to block? If you're going to kick it that way, then let him kick it that way. Why are you trying to block it? He's going out of play."
I think we've obviously played it right for ages to me under Mowbray, to be a little bit under JT as well. But like, I just spent the last time I've just been calling him like the world's tallest fullback, like right back. Him and Dan Burton would make it like the big class, wouldn't they? Dan Burton at left back, Gallagher at right back. You know what I mean? Because they'll run up and down that wing all day. But it's for me, sometimes Gallagher would sooner run and make a last ditch tackle like 40 yards away from our goal than shoot. He doesn't shoot enough for me.
No. And we've seen before, like, instinctively, sometimes, when he doesn't think about it, like the goal against Borough last year, doesn't think about it, snapshot, bottom corner, is when he has time on the ball and time to run through, and his head's probably going bang, bang, bang. It's like,
it's
not Rain Man, it's the film about mathematicians. Is it Rain Man?
I'm going to call it.
Before your time, classic. Goodwill Hunting, that's what I'm thinking of. All the calculations going through his brain whilst he's running through one-on-one rather than thinking about putting the ball in the back of the net. But yeah, last night he's sprinting about, and I just think in training the players do it to him. The people just cut him and crowd turn him 24 times a day. Like, he's just running about, sweating his tits off, like struggling for breath. What else did we put about the notes from last night? So
I mean, to be fair, let's give him some credit. That assist, last night.
If it bounces off the defender's shin, though, you feel
that's it. You're on the pitch, aren't you?
Yeah.
Blackburn ends up in arms, aren't it?
So, like, the defender, it was poor defending, really. He weren't tight to him, he weren't behind him or anything. He just allowed him to do it. And yeah, it were a good assist, good weight on it, good finish from Hedges. But if I'm Reading's manager, he's getting lynched after the game. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why you just stood there?
Have you seen Paulin's comments, by the way?
Yeah.
Did he watch the game?
We were talking about this.
Were he at Rovers last night?
End to end.
We were more likely to win that game when we got to 1-1.
And then he said something about after we equalised, Rovers just kept kicking it out of play. No, you kicked it out of play. Your guy went down injured. He was down for 4 minutes.
Yeah,
you subbed the 2 furthest players away from you to waste as much time as possible. Like, it weren't us kicking out of play. The ball was never in play because of your decisions.
I think like he said like after they equalised, there was like a apprehension like in the ground. And to be fair, there were, but that was kind of out of a. It was frustration at the fact we hadn't scored more goals before they equalised, and
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think it was nervous like, oh my god, Reading can win it. It was more like we should have won this game already. It weren't like, oh my god, they've scored one, they might score another.
It was like a panic out of like, oh my god, we might drop points when we really shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh my god, they're all over us here. You know, it was never
that corner at last minute though. Shit me up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it always does.
I was stood next to the most negative guy. I mean, you're a negative guy, but this guy was well negative.
Cheers, Dan.
It was like, literally, we're just going... It was just going, when it was 1-0, I mean, not scored, and it were like, how have we not put this bed, but it's going, we're going to lose this game. And then they scored, it's like, told you, they're going to score again. Said it were coming, they're going to score again. It was just like 5 minutes.
Like he had 2-1 Reading on his bet.
Like, just 5 minutes when they went in, it was like, I knew it was going to happen. Instead, we're going to lose. And it was just constant. I was like, if you're going to be like that, just don't come to the Rovers.
Yeah, don't come. Just sit at home, more like you tell you.
Sit at home, watch it on TV, and just...
The guy behind us made him last night.
One thing about last night, just unbelievable reactions to everything. Like, it was like it's a routine cross into box, and it's like, whoa!
Honestly, he nearly deafened me about 4 times. Like,
absolute heart attack.
I remember my first game as well.
Like someone had fallen off roof or something, and then someone got tackled, didn't he? Someone got tackled. And he went, whoa! That WWE commentator sat behind him. Oh my god, J.I.
It was like a 50-50 in the air where like 2 players went up for a header. It was like a guy like 10 rows behind us, like, it was just like, whoa! What's that about?
Calm down, mate. It's not that exciting. How good was Sam Swanich last night?
Yeah.
It's quality, wasn't it?
I mean, to be fair, I was like, when he got to 1-0, I was like, take him off, rest him for Sunday, get him off that pitch.
Yeah.
Because he will run himself into the ground, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he does anyway, that's his
He's like
play.
a wasp, isn't he?
But,
annoying little wasp.
But like, I mean, obviously, we were last night. I worry for Dak getting back in that team. You can't take him out, can you?
You don't think Dak could play in Gallagher's position?
I mean, there's some of them chances in the box. That was scored a hat-trick yesterday.
Well, the one where the 2 defenders lie down and clear it over the bar, I think Dak just cuts
takes a touch.
Takes 2 of them out game, rounds keeper, goes back, does all 3 of them again and puts it in bottom bin.
Like the one where Diaz brings it down at the back post and then shoots and gets blocked.
Yeah.
That one as well, I think.
I think Dak has composure, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like,
you can't teach that as well. That's the most annoying thing. And it must be frustrating for Thomason, the kind of player that he was, to like see them chances last night and probably. Yeah. I'd have scored that. I'd have scored that.
Put it in. Let me have scored that.
Doing match analysis today, like, honestly, you lot are absolutely bobbing. I'm playing Sunday.
Yeah.
Doing shit, nail back at shit.
And Alice is just like, lads, like, come on.
Just put it in. The Diaz one as well, where Gallagher flicks it back inside to him. And I'm keeping it. And I thought Lumley played well last night. I remember before we played him away, he had an absolute stinker against someone. I think they got beat 4-0 at home, and all 4 of them were his fault. And I was saying before the away game, got a dodgy keeper, like, put balls on him, like, obviously we got beat that game. But last night, he actually proved me wrong. He actually had a really good game.
I felt like he had a good game, but do you not think a lot of the shots were just straight at him? I think our shooting was poor.
There was one where...
Like a double save, and they're all at him.
Yeah, the Diaz chance where he comes out, blocks Thomas's shot, and then comes out and grabs the ball under pressure from Pickering. I think that's good goalkeeping. To get back up like 3 times and... Go and grab the ball.
I just think a lot of the shots were at him. I just think it was probably poor shooting from us. Yeah. I'm not saying that he didn't, because I do think he had a good game, but I do think a lot of the shots were just directly at him. I think it was just
like their free kick in first half.
Oh yeah,
they went almost like top tier of Blackburn.
Yeah. The guy who literally cleared it like into upper tier.
Yeah, it was horrendous, wasn't it?
Like, unbelievable.
I subbed him. They should have been subbed. He then scored the other day, so it wasn't the same player who scored. But
I just think like who are you to grab the ball off someone and say, I'm having this one?
Yeah.
And then, it's bad when they don't hit the target, but you could have put 10 nets on top of each other, but they weren't going in with it. Like you said about the shots being straight at each other, one of Gallagher's in first start off, where I think Thomas lays it back to him and he hits it, and Lumley was stood like that and he hit it right in the middle of his thumbs. Like, he couldn't have placed it any better. He just went, Tush.
And it's one of either side of the goalkeeper, it's in.
So someone's like Gallagher tenner.
Yeah, just put it right there. And then the free header in the first half from the door, and I thought he should have scored then.
Yeah.
But I'll take 2-1 wins like that for now to end the season.
Well, yeah, and I think
I like one, but I will.
I just thought last night was an opportunity, and probably Thompson would have thought the same of helping a goal difference a little bit.
Yeah.
Because our goal difference is shocking compared to everybody around us, and the fact is, if it does go down to goal difference, we're out in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
That's one thing where you're that frustrated that we hadn't gone like say 4 or 5-0 before they scored, and you come off the ground like telling yourself like, don't matter if it's still one, like, just forget about it. But it's like at the same time you're like, goal difference,
3 points then.
goal difference.
Yeah. Put it back in the
Yeah. Plus 3.
I just think I know what you mean about goal difference. When you look at the results from the other midweek games, just getting the 3 points is massive.
Oh yeah.
Like, you see the teams below us dropping points.
At one point last night, it looks horrendous, didn't it? Because I think Norwich were winning.
Yeah, West Brom were winning. Coventry were winning.
Yeah, so again, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but that 3 points weren't massive, but it were a must. If we wouldn't have won yesterday, I'd have been in a bad. I'd can't do too much of it.
Trading ticket in for Sunday. Before we go on to Sheffield United game, we're going to talk about club matters. Some negative stuff for a bit. Why aren't season tickets out yet?
I've just seen something from Rich Shaw. I've not seen it. That apparently they've been signed off. They're ready. They're just being signed off by owners for next season.
Right.
So take from that what you.
So not out then.
Yeah, so they're not out. But
so nothing's straight.
I don't know if you've talked.
Yeah,
about
they've been signed off from Overs. Come out 31st of July.
Yeah.
First league game 7th of August. Buy them then.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what you talked about them or not. But the question is, what's your ideal pricing?
Early bird ticket. If you come out now, like they come out tomorrow, £250 all round.
Yeah.
£150 at Riverside, adults, and then kids. Like, don't really matter about kids. It's not really adding to you financially. It's not massive, is it? Because there's going to be more adults than kids buying tickets.
Yeah.
And then I think once you get up to past the early bird, like new people buying, and then it's like $299 around the ground, £200 at Riverside. I think Riverside should always be cheaper tickets than the rest of the ground. I know people who sit in the Riverside like it and they say it's what they prefer or whatever. But I just think that the quality of seat you get and the facilities you get in the Blackburn End, Jack Walker and Darwin End are a lot better than what you get in Riverside. Yeah. So, and the price should reflect that.
Yeah, I mean, I ballpark around the same. I don't understand all these brackets of 18 to 25 or whatever it is. Students, I think it should just be a flat 250 or just all around for adults, and then £50 a kid.
But I mean, for like 18 to 21 and students are £200 anyway. So it's not like you're saving. Well, I mean, you're saving money on this season's prices.
But then just the ticket pricing, it's like, I think who did we play when it were like there were loads of different brackets of pricing. That's just a ball ache, innit?
Yeah.
Because an adult price, as soon as you're 18, it's £20 whatever, and if you're under 18, it's a fucking tenner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, West Brom had a good initiative this year. They did with a paying season ticket. It was like a next generation thing, up to £1 for a kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good initiative. See, I've got a child. People have a child. I think it was £90 for it this year.
It's a lot of money, that.
You know what I mean? On top of your season ticket, it might be 60. Well, either way, but it's a lot of money on top of your season ticket as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
£500.
Considering they're not going to go to all the games as well, like usually, like kids don't come to midweek games because of the time of it and stuff. Like, you're only really getting half the games in a championship, aren't you?
So
you're literally paying like £9 a game if you're paying £90.
I just feel like if you had £250, more people are more likely to support with £250 than £400, £500. And the fact is, more people more buns on seats, like more shirts, you're selling more food. There's more of a revenue. It just seems like common sense I feel like Waggett clearly doesn't have that.
I know what Rob's going to say now.
Well,
Well, we haven't got any shirts on.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah,
By
so
the way,
much shirts.
it was also mentioned they only ordered 12,000 shirts
yeah.
this year, which I think is abysmal.
They didn't sell that last year, so. But then again, it comes back to this thing that he doesn't want to waste any money, and I think so. Like, if you ordered 20,000, and like you're selling them at 60 quid throughout the whole season, aren't you? So like you're always going to get your money back if you sell 10,000. Say they're not paying full whack on it to get them in retail from Macron. No. I mean, probably like 50p from Macron. I mean, that's its state of them this season with badges flipping off like Panini stickers on chest.
Yeah. Mine's actually come off, but yeah.
With badge upside down right, at Wembley. Badge back on the semi.
Just got to gloves off and get it back on.
But like, so you say you had 8,000 left at end of the season. Well, you're dropping down to 15 quid, dropping down to 10 quid. People are buying them still because people like collect shirts and stuff. And even like people that aren't Rovers fans, there's like a massive. People love replica shirts now, don't they? People wear them for podcasts. People wear them like mystery boxes and stuff.
Yeah, like secret shirts to that. So some random person in Portugal will get a Rover shirt because I'd be buzzing with that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But like they'll probably look at like I watch a lot of football manager YouTubers who might like manage a random team in Russia, and whilst they're doing the YouTube save, they'll buy the team's shirt and wear it for the save. So like a random Ukrainian kid. I don't know why Ukraine comes to me head first. might be like managing us on Footy Manager and go, I want to buy the shirt. I like the blue and white Orbs. And they look online, 60 quid, 20 quid delivery. All right, so
but it's a distinctive shirt. It's not your standard red shirt, blue shirt. You know, it's an unusual shirt to have. So it has value. Do you know what I mean? Like you say to people like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, 12,000 I think is poor. I don't care what they sold last year. Like, that is poor.
Yeah. I think the worst thing about last year's one was because obviously the sponsors changed halfway through.
Yeah.
The second sponsor was awful.
And then they put it over it and
it
just looks horrendous.
It just didn't look right at all.
But I mean, what you saw, they only ordered 12,000. What do you reckon? 8,000 home shirts, 3,000 away shirts, and then probably 1,000 red shirts because there weren't many of them red shirts. Not many people have them red shirts.
Yeah, I wonder what percentage they won because I think. I'd probably say the red one was probably the most popular when it came out. I mean, the home shirt is always going to be like the most popular one because everyone wants that one. But I think out of the three designs, the red one was probably the most unique one and probably the nicest one.
Yeah.
If I were to buy a shirt, I would probably buy that one. Do you think we'll get more shirts if we get to Wembley?
Probably not. Which I think is shocking.
I know we keep talking about like what's going to happen on Sunday and like we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But if we do win on Sunday, you're going to have 30,000 Rovers fans going to Wembley, no matter what. Yeah. So like, and only 12,000 of them at the max are going to have a home shirt. So that looks bad on the club, I think. It's going to be a hot day, like end of April. Most people won't wear the shirts, but a lot of people that are buying tickets and don't usually go to games will buy a home shirt for that game. They'll probably...
They're missing a trick, aren't they? But they'll probably come out with some top and it'll be, I don't know, Wembley semi-final. You know what I mean? They'll come out with some crappy thing at a tenner.
See, this is what I mean. Like we said, if you buy more of the shirts in, if you do get to a semi-final or anything like that, you just put the embroidery on the badge. 100 quid a shirt, people pay it.
Yeah.
Like a centenary shirt or whatever. Like people pay it all the time. Just don't think about it.
We've said this before, haven't we? Like, if you order more shirts at the start of the season, and we use like the playoff example, if you get to playoff final, just put like Rovers versus, I don't know, Middlesbrough, like 29th of May.
Yeah. Like, it's just, it's for us on the outside looking in, it looks like easy money, doesn't it? Yeah. It just looks like you print it. It's a license to print money.
Yeah, but I just feel like we're talking here now about things they could have done and should do, you know, even just seeing tickets and the rest of it. But it feels like they're just out of touch. Steve Waggett is well off the pace of Blackburn.
Yeah.
As a whole, Blackburn and Darwin, like the demographic of it, he's miles away.
But the other clubs, like the other clubs round here, are doing it well. Preston have done it well this season. Bolton are doing well this season. Bolton just sold 30,000 tickets for the Papa John's Trophy final. Yeah. And guarantee they'll be selling shirts hand over fist all week.
But how much were Bolton's in tickets? They weren't much, were they?
200 quid. And the early birds just come out.
219 for adults.
219 for adults, and they won't get promoted because Ipswich and Dingy are so far ahead.
I think in that Papa John's final, the support from both clubs has been unbelievable because Plymouth sold 32,000 as well.
Which I think is mad because I'm sure Home Park on the old's about 12,000.
Nah, it doesn't. It's bigger than that.
Is it?
It's not that big, is it? I don't think so.
I don't think it holds 20.
But it's not far off. Get Googling, pal. But to be fair, when I went, it was that were a cold day, and the left side end, I don't think we're open. It's like
17,000.
Is it?
So
Close to
we're a bit middle, weren't it? A middle of both, I guess is. But yeah, every other club round us seems to be doing the right thing. So what are we missing out on? I know, like you keep saying, we need to meet financial fair play and all that lot. We'll get onto that in a minute because we're going to talk about matters in the EFL, right, which is looking shambolic at the minute. But again, it goes back to you reduce the prices, you sell more, so you're still earning the same amount of money. But I think he just sees it as that if them fans come back at the current prices, they're going to make double the money. But the problem is the fans will never come back, no matter what happens. If you got promoted this season on the off chance, we won the FA Cup and we're in Europe, at these prices, we would still only have 15,000, 16,000
because the town is poor.
Yeah.
And I don't think with everything that's going on, with the cost of living crisis, people aren't going to go, I'll get a season ticket.
Yeah, I'll just drop 500 quid on a season ticket.
You know what I mean? People can't afford it, and I think a lot of people had issues with the finance options, or you know what I mean. So that's the problem. Why aren't the clubs just sorting that out? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
like we shouldn't need to have a finance company for season tickets. It should be up to the club to administrate that, and just it could be 0% interest.
Yeah.
So the way they advertised it's 0% interest, but they have a 10% fixing fee or because the arrangement fee.
Yeah.
So what were season tickets 429? So an extra 43 quid just because you can't afford to drop 450 quid in July, which is summer holidays. You're doing a lot of stuff with kids, or you might have just gone away or something scrimping and scraping, aren't you?
It's shocking. It's poor. It is poor from the club. If anything, I don't know. I mean, I could talk about season tickets all day. It frustrates me.
What do you think about this final five offer?
100 quid,
yeah,
£99. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but again, who's going to chalk up 100 quid?
Yeah.
People who get paid monthly or get paid weekly might think, well, yeah, I can pay 20, but I can't chuck out 100 quid at once. It's a lot to take out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With what's going on in today's world, it's a lot to just chuck out. Yeah. So they could have said, I don't know, they could have put a thing in where it's £20 a month or whatever, but I don't know, whatever it is. Pay it over time.
So when we spoke about it, I said that £20 a ticket should be the standard price.
But £20 at once is okay, but £99 at once is different.
Yeah,
so to pay out at once
because £20 a match is a standard fair price. £100 for 5 games is not an offer.
No,
it's just what we should be paying anyway.
Yeah,
and I know the Burnley games in there, but you've also got midweek games in there and bank holiday games and stuff. So
I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, it's not bad, but will there be that many people who haven't already got a season ticket or a half-season ticket that will be enticed? You don't
Probably
feel like
not. No. What if they said it's 50 quid? For me, I can't understand. Getting more people in that ground is beneficial to the club. JDT has spent an entire week getting old players or whatever. The old players are talking about the fans, being in the crowd, and then he's almost trying to push the agenda for the club. And I get it because he's the face of the club, if you will. But,
well, he's put the positivity back in the club, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. But ultimately, the club needs to do more in order to entice fans back in. We had I don't know how many seasons we had when we were in the Premier League, but 20,000 on pretty much every week. So
10,000 plus, weren't it?
Yeah.
You're probably looking at 16,000, 17,000 season tickets. So you've half of that. Then fans don't just go away. Do you know what I mean? Well, you probably lose 25% because you've just dropped out of the Premier League.
Yeah.
But there's a gap of fans that probably want to come but are being priced out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Massively.
Yeah.
And things that are going on in today's climate are just excavating that problem. They're not helping it. So the club could easily help alleviate that pressure and give ultimately we're a community, for the town, the face of the town. Blackburn Rovers is the town.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So get people in.
just gives people like a bit of hope and a bit of it's something to look forward to, isn't it? It's like an escape for most people.
But they're only getting 20,000 on. I know the top of the league and whatever, but the towns are very similar.
Yeah.
So if they can get that, we can get that.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. No. EFL matters, so not just about Rovers this week. So, top 2 clubs in the league, both under transfer embargo, going into the end of the season. Wigan were late paying wages yet again, facing a 3-point deduction. And Huddersfield are due to go into administration as of recording. Any minute now, could happen anytime. Does the English Football League need just a complete restructure?
Yeah, absolutely. It needs reform. Not just the Football League, from the FA to the Premier League, all the way from top to bottom, the entire pyramid. The money isn't being filtered down, is it?
No.
And that's the problem. That's where the bulk of the issue is. Because money isn't being filtered down.
There's too many clubs, especially in the Championship, gambling to get to the Premier League.
Yeah.
How many times we've seen teams get, like Huddersfield this year, playoff final last year, and now administration, relegation.
Yeah.
Chef Wednesday did it. We're in playoffs, gone down. Who else?
Cripples the clubs for years.
It's football Russian roulette, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Like any of the teams, apart from Luton, maybe have been quite tidy with the finances. Any of the teams in the top 6 this season, if they don't go up, that's them. Burnley, if Sheffield United don't go up, they're knackered.
Us, that's not okay. We're going to be close, aren't we?
Yeah, wages have gone up a bit, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I think like the signings that we potentially could have made in January might have just tipped us over that edge.
Yeah.
Without getting the fans in, or I mean, I think the FA Cup has saved us this year.
Yeah.
Like the
sorry, just FA Cup. Obviously, where they obviously offering the who went on to the game.
Not yet. But yeah, so like we've earned like £1 million in prize money already, ticket revenue on top of that, TV money, getting to Wembley, talking like another 1.5 million, and the prize money as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
huge financially.
Yeah, but I think the teams around Norwich, Watford, Middlesbrough, they don't go up.
I think Watford are doomed, aren't they?
Scary. It's scary to think about because like half of the league are like ex-Premier League clubs that are quite successful ex-Premier League clubs, and if they don't go up, they're knackered. And like for a lot of them, they won't come back. When we were in League One, there were probably only us and Wigan that were quite a big club that looked like promotion. And you look at the League One race this year, they're like Bolton, Chef Wednesday. It's ridiculous. And obviously only 3 of them can come up.
Yeah. But like massive successful clubs as well. You know what I mean? But I mean, what I don't understand why it's happening. This is happening year on year now. This is happening for the last however long, 15 years or so, where clubs are gambling, like you say, on going up, and then it's not happening and it's backfiring. But the EFL have to do something. You know, they need to do something. You know, I mean, wages, like our wages compared to your Sheffield United, your Burnleys, your Middlesbrough, you know, they'll be paying massive, massive wages compared to us. Watford, that Joe Pedro, what's he going to be on at Watford now?
50k plus.
Yeah. What Mitch Fitch won 70 grand apparently last year in the Championship.
Yeah.
So this is why it needs to filter from his Premier League. The Premier League or the FA need to enforce a wage. I don't know. You're going to lose 50% of your wage in everybody's contract.
Yeah.
And have it universal. So like, even if you play for Man United, or the off chance you're going to get relegated, which you're probably not. Because any decent player, whether they're going to lose 50% of their wage or not, or if they're good enough, they're going to stay in that league or get moved on. If they're not, then they take that pay cut to help clubs.
Yeah. I think when you look at
the owners, aren't they? That's the problem.
There needs to be a salary cap in place, doesn't there? I think like a first team player in the Championship should be on at most £20,000 a week.
Yeah.
And I think even in Prem, it could be capped at £100,000 a week. And I think
no one needs to earn any more than that.
No. And I think like in America, when they do like, you have like 3 or 4 players that are allowed to pay more than that. So then the superstars spread out then. So you don't just have like City with 25 players on that. You have 3 of them here, 3 of them there, 3 of them there. It makes the league a lot more exciting. But
your problem is you're elite in the Premier League. You're never going to have that, and that's where the problem is. This is where the FA have to step in and say,
But they're crying out for the Super League, aren't they? Like to get more money. The Super League would be the most competitive league. But if you installed a salary cap and that superstar rule to the Prem, then it would be the most competitive league in the world. People say it's the best league in the world. It's not.
No.
City usually boss it every year. The rest of the team, outside the top 6, the rest of the teams are all bobbins.
So if you go back to football pre-Premier League, how many different league winners were there?
Yeah.
Loads.
Yeah.
So it was better because it weren't necessarily the team that spent the most won the league. It was the best coach team.
Yeah.
Where now teams are getting carried through because like City, they should win most games. You know what I mean? It's like okay, Arsenal might win the league this year, but generally speaking, they're going to win it year on year as it stands right now. Just like Man United did for all them years. You can go to the Championship. Burnley spent nearly 40 million. They're not in. Make no mistakes. They're in the position they should be in. They should be in any other position but first.
Yeah.
If you spend that much money in the second division in English football and you're not first, there's a problem.
Well, they should be winning the league with 10 games to go.
Yeah.
Like when they spend that much money compared to everyone else.
I keep saying, I think companies doing a great job. He's doing this. Yeah, he's doing okay, but he's been given. He's not just been backed. He's been like massively backed.
Well, he's been allowed to play fantasy football, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's had it completely.
You've got 25 squad spaces here, buy a player for each position and a backup. All right then. And I know they've got like good players on loan like Teller and stuff, but I mean, if a new manager going into a club usually has a squad that's already been pre-assembled, like Rovers for example. JDT's come in. He's already got that squad to work with. He can't just go, right, you sin a bit, you sin a bit, you sin a bit, and then buy players to replace them.
Club can't afford it.
Well, you can't. Well, they're on contracts, obviously. And you have to sell them first. Before you can.
This is what like the Premier League and the EFL, everything. Clubs should be self-sufficient, but they're not.
No.
And the way football is, and the money that's involved with it, they're never going to be self-sufficient. Because they're just making massive losses. They're almost like pubs to an extent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard, unless you're getting people in and all the rest of it. You physically can't. You need to have unless you have a kid come through the academy, or you're going to, like Villa selling Grealish for 100 million. That's what keeps them afloat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know we've always been a selling club, but it needs, like parachute payments should stop. Completely. These clubs that come down, I think there's 3 teams that have gone up that haven't had a parachute payment from the Championship. That's just right there says what's wrong with football, because they're coming down with millions.
I think
it gives them a massive advantage over everybody else in the league.
Like the salary structured route would be my preference. I think the TV money in the Premier League that they get for each club, you could make sure that every club in the Football League could pay the maximum amount to every player and have enough money left over. So, and then that's when ticket prices come down to £5 a ticket, or like £5 League 2, £10 League 1, 15 Championship, capped. 20 Premier League. And like you see it on Twitter all the time. Oh my God, German football Bundesliga, they've got supporters trains, they've got tickets. We could have that. If you just stopped obsessing over like Premier League, Sky Sports football, where these players are on multi-million pounds a week and like you just can't compete, can you?
No, but it's like if we were to get promoted, we'd just get battered every week.
Yeah.
Because what I think it's going to do, we're going to get X amount of money. Well, we're 200 million down in debt. We're just going to take that money back out of the club.
Yeah.
And probably sell it as a going concern or something. They could just walk away and they've made money. I mean, I'm not saying they will, but like it's only like you don't have to look at Bury. They've got Manchester City, Man United, massive clubs around them. And just went to the wall over pennies.
Yeah, 20 grand or something like that. Yeah.
So that's where it's wrong. Do you know what I mean?
But the fact that the top 2 in the league are going up under transfer embargo, it's just
shocking.
I know a lot of Burnley fans have said like we've got new directors and stuff in November, but like it shouldn't take you from November to March to file your papers.
It shouldn't. With Burnley, it's a bit of a formality, obviously, but still, like, to me, where we are now in the season, we're obviously in March, they're almost up anyway. Could there not have been a better, like,
punishment?
It's too late.
A better punishment.
Yeah.
It's too late at this point, isn't it?
I know obviously Rovers fans, but a point deduction that has more of an impact than a transfer embargo in March, obviously, because there's no more transfer windows this season.
But I mean, they will be making massive losses week on week, won't they, Burnley?
Yeah.
The wages they're paying, like obviously the ground only holds 20,000. It's sold out every week. They'd still be making massive losses.
Yeah, but they're going to go up and get whatever you get for going up. So that's their gamble's paid off. And if they didn't, they'd be in dire straits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they would be. So that's like you say, where you're playing Russian roulette with the clubs. They are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, it's going to work out. Sheffield United, I hope they don't go up, just because, it's like I said, the parachute payment thing just doesn't help, does it? It just favours clubs to get relegated and go back up again.
Yeah.
That entire system, that's all it does.
Well, it's to keep the bigger teams up there, isn't it? That's what they hope. I think if you told the Premier League which ones they could give it to, they'd give it to the clubs that generate the most revenue. Like if Leeds went down, they'd pick them, or
yeah.
Like
they don't want Burnley. They don't want Bournemouth in there.
No.
I mean Bournemouth. Come on. But like,
no one does.
But they don't want shit clubs up there, do they?
No.
Basically, shitty little clubs. If we went up, they don't want Blackburn Rovers up there.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
They're massive.
More successful team in the world.
I know what you mean. Though, like they want the big city clubs, like the big TV audience. That's all. That's what they're asked about, really, aren't it? So Championship results. Moving on from the EFL corruption. Starting off the weekend stuff. So Norwich 0, Sunderland 1. Mowbray keeping us in the playoffs finally. 5 years in front of us.
Agent Mowbray long-term plan.
Norwich missed the chance to catch up on the rest of us. Birmingham 2, Rotherham 0. Birmingham, I think they're safe now. I think they're too good to go down. Burnley 3, Wigan 0. No surprises. Wigan have got off-the-field problems like we spoke about, not paying the wages. Feel a bit sorry for Maloney, because even if they do get a couple of good results and stay up, to face a 3-point deduction at 6 points off relegation anyway, it's probably better to get it now than it is.
Yeah, but it's like these clubs.
But they'll go down to League One and boss it.
Yeah, but it's like these clubs that get these point deductions, but they get them deferred for a year. Like, what's crap with that? Do you know what I mean? As Peterborough complained about somebody, did they go down? Did they come down to the year?
You got relegated last season, didn't they?
Yeah.
You did Wigan not, because Wigan were mid-table. Or the year before, Wigan were mid-table, got 12 points.
Somebody else would have got Derby or whatever it was. Someone wouldn't have got them that point deduction when they should have got it.
Yeah.
It does make a difference, because to a club like that, staying in that division.
Yeah.
But then, so...
It's like whether you take that risk of starting 6 points behind and trying to still get promoted anyway, which a lot of your big clubs when they go down to League One will do. Like you look at they're not coming back up this year, but like Sheffield Wednesday, for example, if they had a 6 point head start, they'd probably still go up, so it doesn't really matter to them. Dog just crept up on you.
Hello.
Coventry 1, Hull 1, good result for us. Preston 2, Cardiff 0, a tight home win, an unlikely home win for Preston. Cardiff still 6 points clear of the bottom three. QPR 1, Watford 0, big win for Ainsworth. I thought like 19 games without a win.
Yeah,
but obviously we know what's coming up in the next section. Cardiff 6 points clear still. Watford, I put Wilder out, but obviously not being serious. Reading 0, Millwall 1, Millwall back into the playoffs. But they're doing tight little wins. Millwall, I don't know if I think they're good enough to stay in playoffs.
Well, they only just missed that one. They finished higher than us last year, just about. They placed above.
Finished on 7th, didn't they?
Yeah, so they've been dicing with playoffs, haven't they? You know what I mean?
They flirt with every year.
Last few years have always been on the edges, haven't they?
But I think looking at the teams in the top 6, I think Millwall are the team that everyone wants to play. Because they haven't been that good though. They're up there, but they've not smashed any teams, and they've not been.
No, but obviously we played them last game of the season, haven't we?
Yeah.
Away. That could be massive, that game.
So we got too many massive games. We're nearly in April. It's nearly the end of the season. We shouldn't have this many massive games left.
No. Well, no, but it could be, couldn't it?
Every week, massive game, massive
10 cup finals.
No, but it could be potentially. Maybe not for us, but for them, it could be massive. Do you know what I mean? Because they're.
Well, like I said, we want to be 3 points clear going into the Luton game, before we play Millwall away. So you get a point against Luton, it keeps you. Well, you're in there, aren't you, for the last game of the season? Where I was up to, Sheffield United 0, Luton 1. Luton are the team we want to avoid in the playoffs, and I think we don't have a good record against them. I don't want to play them away first because we could be going back to Ewood 2 or 3-0 down.
Yeah. That's fucking hell. Did you go? Have you been to overall?
No.
Oh my word. Honestly, that is a health and safety hazard, that.
I would love them to go up, but I want to go up this season, so I don't want them to go up. Sheffield United got booed off for like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I watched it on Saturday. Like as soon as the ball went up, they just started booing.
Yeah.
And it just didn't start till full time. There was a corner that came in, but Burnley headed it like just wide, and they all went, "Ooh, boo!" I'm just like, listen, lads, I know you've played bad, but like it just took paint off Paul for crying out loud.
Paul, like, is not the manager, is he? Do you know what I mean?
But then Stuart McCall's like warming him up before.
I've seen him on a car or something for Bradford or something. I've got that clip in my head.
That's a soccer end clip every week, isn't it? Swansea 1, Middlesbrough 3. Obviously, Middlesbrough flying. West Brom 1, Huddersfield 0. West Brom 3 points off top 6. Bristol City 2, Blackpool 0. Bristol City try again next year. And then Tuesday and Wednesday's games. Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 2. So Sheffield United go back to 6 points clear. Sunderland are below Preston North End now. I mean, think how bad they've been this season. How unhappy they are.
Mowbray drop off again.
Is how it is, isn't it? I mean, obviously, just Mowbray. What they're getting Sunderland 30,000. That ain't going to be a nice place to be if they keep losing.
No.
For anybody.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
They should. I said they should have kept Neil. Neil left to go to Stoke, didn't he? So didn't really have a choice in it. But
it's like what he came out with last week. He said playoffs is never the aim this season, and Sunderland promotion will come in time. And
they were fourth when we were 8th.
I basically put in the group chat like translation, like he's not capable of doing it, and someone else will have to do it.
I just feel like just Mowbray is just he's just past it. Like, the game's past him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It'll stabilise you, won't it? Like if you're just coming up from League One, you just need someone to like just steady the ship.
He's a performance manager, and he don't want results. Like if he got beat 1-0 but played really well, he'd prefer that than be awful and win 3-0.
Yeah, but that's not football, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No.
People can moan about like when we had Big Sam, but if he's going to keep you in Premier League, he's keeping you in Premier League. Moan about football all you want, but it's a result end of the day, isn't it? And that's all that matters.
Yeah. Cardiff 1, West Brom 1. An important point for Cardiff with other teams winning. Their goal difference is now -13, which will be important when we go on to later results. West Brom 2 points lost because everyone in the top 6 won. So that's 2 points they've dropped off from everyone else. Huddersfield 1, Norwich 1. Again, 2 points lost on teams both for Norwich.
Massive result for us, that.
Yeah. Huddersfield 6 points off Cardiff. Hull 1, Burnley 3. Is anyone really interested anymore in Burnley results? They're up. Simple as that. Luton 1, Bristol City 0. Spoke about Luton already. Middlesbrough 1, Stoke 1. Stoke the better team, I've already spoke about. And then Middlesbrough, the fans were emotional, says Carrick. Like, considering they've won how many games out? He's 20. He's been in charge 20, but like 15.
I don't think they've lost a game at home, have they?
No.
Did they draw or something?
They drew.
Bristol City, I think they've won every other game.
Yeah. And then they drew with Stoke.
I mean, it's not something to mourn about, is it?
But they were like booing like when they were passing sideways, trying to keep possession and stuff. And he just said, listen, like from where they were when he came in to where they are now.
Yeah.
I think because Sheffield United are dropping points, like you're like on Friday night, we were like, oh, if we win tonight and Sheffield United drop points tomorrow, like we're up there again.
Yeah.
So then it feels like every point you lose then is a lost point, but it's not because other teams still want to beat you. It's not like, oh, just let them win, they can catch Sheffield United.
For me, I was just hoping Borough got a goal. Do you know, just because like they put that pressure on Sheffield United, and then it made last night massive for them, and then
I think the
pressure would have been on them, and then obviously Sunday, you know.
And the league games still are massive for them because they're only, I think like 6 points clear now, but it's only one win away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Middlesbrough.
I think they've got to play each other. I think if you actually look at it, no, but they've got Burnley to play, haven't they?
Middlesbrough play Burnley.
But Sheffield United's next few games.
Sheffield United play Burnley away.
The next few games, Sheffield United are hard, though, aren't they?
So what is it? Because if Dingles beat...
They've got Middlesbrough, Millwall, Coventry.
No. None of them.
Who have I been watching? Who have I been reading?
I think Dingles will need to beat... Dingles win their next game. They'll need to beat Middlesbrough to go on Good Friday, I think.
Yeah. Burnley play all three of us before the end of the season anyway. Blackpool 6, QPR 1. Shocking from QPR, and I don't think you can recover from that. To get beat off a relegation team 6.
I watched Gareth Ainsworth's post-match interview, and he
fuming, weren't he?
Fuming. Like,
he's learned a lot about these lads.
Yeah, and I just think he was saying like they were on about that 6, whatever. I think he said it's his first 6 of his management career, and he's been in management for a long time.
Yeah.
That ain't a team. He prides himself on defence. You know what I mean? So
every goal from a set piece as well.
Could they go down?
I think they could go down now, yeah. Because I think after getting beat that big,
do you think?
Yeah, I think they're all right. 5 points now. After that result,
it's an outside shout, but I think
I just think
when you get beat like that,
it's just shows
they were low on confidence anyway, weren't they? They'd lost like the last.
Beat Watford, that's like a London derby, if you will.
Yeah,
it's not a bad result.
But Watford away from home are stinking, aren't they? They don't have that attitude to go and beat someone away from home. Like when it came down to Ewood, I just thought.
They were sulking on pitch, weren't they?
Yeah.
Arguing and stuff.
And I think, especially against the Gareth Ainsworth team, the first 2 tackles you win game against Watford.
Yeah.
So that's what I think won the game for them, because it's not like they went out and played them off park.
Mick McCarthy, he's probably similar managers, aren't they? To be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been crucial for goal difference because that puts them on minus 15 now. So obviously only 2 goals away from Cardiff, which if they win to catch them up, they're going to be minus 14.
Ball let's go to Cardiff.
Yeah, Blackpool's easier. But yeah, like not winning 19, beat Watford, then get beat 6-1 off what's now going to be a relegation rival. I think you don't recover from it. Millwall 2, Swansea 1. The Millwall 24% possession, 3 shots on goal. Swansea 76% possession, 11 shots on goal. And got beat 2-1.
I mean, Swansea are poor. They're just poor, aren't they?
Yeah.
You can have as much possession, and I think
they're easy to beat, aren't they?
Russell Martin's very Tony Mowbray. Like, he's very Tony Mowbray, and he's like a young Tony Mowbray. He just wants to, he's another one, like you said, he's happy with passing the ball around and having pop shots and this, that, and the other. He's not asked about results, but they're not going to put up with it for long at Swansea.
Every time they go on a bit of a run, though, you think, they're finally playing like...
He's finally got it right,
the way, Martin wants them to. It just happens every now and again, and it's like, they've turned the corner, and, they're heading in the right direction, and it just kind of ends there after a few games, doesn't it? And I can see it becoming pretty stale there, to be honest.
I think he's had 2 full seasons now, I think.
Yeah, they'll fuck him up.
If they have a bad start next season, they'll have to... I mean, but who do you get? Is Swansea really an attractive position for someone to come in? They're not going to spend a lot of money, are they?
Get Nathan Jones as well, shouldn't he?
Oh yeah, true, yeah. But he had that celebration in Swansea away, and didn't he, at Luton, so they won't like him there.
But he ain't going to pass the ball about, and they talk about the Swansea away, don't they? Like they've got a sense of entitlement.
Make it pitch smaller for him. Rotherham 1, Preston 2. Rotherham getting dragged back in after we thought they were out of it. Preston 7 points off the playoffs after back-to-back wins. Could they?
They'd have to win every game. That's the only way they're getting in them playoffs, aren't they?
Watford 3, Birmingham 0. Watford, good response after the QPR loss, 6 points off the playoffs. Birmingham are put too good to go down again, because I just think they're 8 points clear. I think they'll pick up enough points before the end of the season to keep them there. Wigan 1, Coventry 1. Coventry, Gyökeres again. Just let us have him. Wigan staying in there only just.
First, sorry.
If we don't go up, we should buy him.
Oh, yeah.
He's going in Prem next year.
Do you think?
He's going somewhere.
I think
it's not going to be Championship unless someone comes down and signs him.
Someone that goes up will snap him up, I think.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, Burnley have already spent 40 million on strikers. What's number 15? It's number 15 between mates.
It's the top bench.
Right, so do you want to go through our top 5, or do you want to preview Sheffield United next? Hi there, quick break in the podcast just to let you know about some fundraising we are doing in the summer. You might have heard in the other podcast that my friend Tom's partner was diagnosed with bone cancer recently. The only symptoms that she had was a sore back. At 31 years old, Natalia was told that the cancer was incurable and was also in her breast and liver.
Further scans have shown that the cancer has spread to her skull, pelvis, hip, and femur. In November, she had to have a hip replacement due to the risk that was going to cause. In November, she had to have a hip replacement due to the risk that her hip was going to break because of the cracks that the cancer had caused. So this May, Tom, myself, and a few others are going to be doing the 3 Peaks in 24 Hours challenge to try and raise as much money as possible to help find a cure so that nobody else will have to go through what Tom and Natalia have been through. Any donations would be greatly appreciated, and any shares to help raise awareness also. I'll leave the links to the GoFundMe page in the description. We wish Tom and Natalia all the best. Thank you.
Leave Sheffield United till...
We'll leave Sheffield United till last year.
It's like the big...
Right,
the main event.
The main event. Right, so top 5 this week. Just because of all the discussion in the press this week about Carrick being linked to West Ham, Company being linked to Tottenham, and some managers in the Championship just not getting the credit they deserve. Rob Edwards, Jandal Thomason, who else did it? I mean, Gary Rowett at Millwall. I like him, just not. So we've gone for a top 5 of the most overrated managers of all time. So, do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first?
Whoever.
I'll let you go first. I haven't got 5
Still
yet.
thinking.
But yeah, my brain might come up with a few names.
Me and Dan will say ours, and you say like if you agree with him. You can be
I'll
the
chuck a
master
few
debater.
names.
If I've got the same, I'll sort of say I've got them. Yeah.
First one, David Moyes.
Not that with him.
You haven't got him?
No.
Do you think he's overrated?
I think he did very good at Preston, very good at Everton.
He did do well at Everton.
Top
he did
10
alright.
pretty much every year.
Got into Europe a couple of times.
Pretty much.
He got into
year.
the Champions League once, and they went out in pre-qualifiers.
Yeah, but top 10 pretty much every year. And Everton are
Everton are a massive club.
They're not. They're just an average club in a big city.
They were one of the biggest clubs
they're not
in the 80s. Were one of the biggest clubs in England.
They're not an
If it
average
weren't
club,
for the European ban, they'd have won like 5 Champions Leagues in a row.
Well, I mean, that's, speculative, isn't it?
But he managed that first period where Everton didn't win anything really, because last time they won something was 1995. Yeah, there you go.
That's why I think he's overrated. I think around that era, anyone could have won the FA Cup, the League Cup, and I don't think he took them to. Did he take them to one final where Chelsea beat them?
Yeah, maybe 2, but I think they lost them both.
FA Cup final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Lewis Sahar scored early on. Was he manager then? Yeah, it was before he went to United,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously,
2008?
Yeah, that was horrendous. You know what I mean?
but even at West Ham, I don't think he's doing enough.
But he did alright the other year, but I think it's his time.
Antonio scored 10 goals, thought he were a player, and now
Yeah, but again, I think players like that, they're almost becoming obsolete. Managers like that, sorry. They're becoming obsolete. The game's passing them by.
He can't be trusted with money. Like the money he spent at United, the money he spent at West Ham. He spent about 80 million on Schmacker and that, what we called him from Brentford, Barami.
Yeah.
Don't even like him. Hates him. What's he called?
Ben
Ben Rama, that's the one. Who's Barami then? Is that the Algerian that used to play for him?
Yeah, is he Algerian? I thought he was Swedish.
The Swiss guy. Yeah.
Barami. Sounds like you put something you put on a bloody Subway sandwich out.
Yeah, the 6 years Barami.
The chicken tikka.
Right, do you want to do one or do you want me to just carry on through the list?
Pochettino.
Do you think?
Massively.
You're joking? After the job he did at Spurs?
Oh my.
His Spurs side were brilliant to watch, weren't they?
They played some unreal football.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah. So,
And what?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but he built that Spurs team from having like
Leicester
he
beating
built that
Town.
team from having like Ryan Mason.
Leicester beating Town.
I mean, come on.
That were a one-off season, though. I mean,
that'd been a one-off
that were planned for Sky Sports.
Yeah,
to get
Rob's
more money.
got thoughts on that.
That was Spurs' his only chance of winning the league. And
but that's like saying, City lost the title to Leicester.
No, he bottled it.
So did every other club in the league.
I think he's massively overrated.
Like Leicester won't leave like 42 points or something, and like the other 19 teams bottled it.
Well, I think for sure it's overrated.
Not to get Spurs to a Champions League final with a team they had.
Horrendous. Yeah,
it was shocking. Final.
They conceded a penalty because Sissoko titted it down in 6 seconds.
It was literally one of the worst finals ever. It was horrendous.
Yeah, it was a bad final.
It was a bad final, wasn't it?
But I think that goal killed it, and I think if you get prepped for like a bigger...
the second minute.
I know, that's what I mean, but if you get prepped for like a big final like that, a big event, and the referee gives a penalty for that.
I just think it's Spurs.
This isn't like
got to
that.
recover from that and work your way back in.
It's easy to say recover from that. If you're a player, that decision gets given against you. You can't recover from that. Your head's gone.
You're not champion in the final. If you can't get yourself
exactly,
up for that,
it's Liverpool
3-0 down.
Liverpool tattoo on his chest.
Liverpool 3-0 down against AC Milan.
come on.
Salah put it ball and Rashford in half his shirt off. You'll never walk alone.
I think. Listen, it's an opinion, isn't it?
Wrong opinion. Second for me, Roberto Martinez.
Oh, that's a good one. That I haven't got him on the list, but
He's
now you said it, he'd gone right on my list.
Awful.
Yeah,
He might get the Swansea job.
Yeah, that Belgian.
Did he not win the cup with Wigan?
Oh, the FA Cup with Wigan. That's more than Pochettino's ever done in his life.
It's a special moment, that, isn't it? That's a once in a lifetime moment.
We can only dream of that.
Yeah.
So basically, he's a better manager than Pochettino.
If he won Cup with Rovers, it'd be like club legend status for us.
They'd be knocking Jack Walker down. Roberto Martinez. Be on him at shoulder.
Di Matteo won the Champions League with Chelsea, but he's not a better manager than the other.
He only managed 15 games.
And the FA Cup as well.
Cup double.
I know, yeah.
Alright. I still think he's overrated. I think he could have done more with the other jobs he's had. He could have, Everton. He could have done more.
I don't think he's too overrated though. I think he's just like
he's getting offered jobs hand over fist.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to look at that Belgian team when they were flying, the golden generation, if you will, of the Belgian team. They should have done more.
Yeah.
Got to a final, Euros at least.
I mean, that last World Cup, they were shocking.
They were a brilliant team. That last World Cup was horrendous, weren't they?
Yeah, I think most of the players have passed the best. So you look at the back four, it were awful.
De Bruyne came out and said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's like, we're all old now. I mean, when you're saying that mid-tournament, I mean, you're already dead in
Witsel was still playing. I don't think he's playing club football anymore. He went to Russia for 6 years and he's still playing the Belgian team.
Yeah.
Right, go on, who's your next one then?
That's going to be a little shock, doesn't it? Ronald Koeman, what do you want to call him?
Who rates him?
Yeah, but he's overrated, isn't he? He got the Barcelona job.
Yeah, he got the Barcelona.
He managed Southampton, went to Everton, and somehow...
It's kind of like him getting that job there, it's like the equivalent of Ollie getting it at United.
It's like fucking Mike Bassett, you know what I mean?
Mike Bassett.
4-4, fucking 2.
I love that film.
That's it. But no,
when he gets announced as manager and he opens the curtains up, presses his bolt naked.
That's absolutely quality film.
And which is more, you'll be a man, Mason. a bit of an embroidery over there. Right. Coleman, I don't know what you mean. He should never have got a better job after he left Southampton because he were awful in the English Prem. But I think that Dutch kind of football would possibly work over in Spain, but obviously it hasn't done. Next one for me, Antonio Conte.
Oh, that's controversial. That is a serial winner.
No.
I'm not having that.
Not having that.
Okay, what do you have for breakfast?
Inter Milan from the league. They don't want it in about fucking 25 years because Juventus are just
cheating
by the referees.
Cheating away to it. You were with his Chelsea team, he had Fabregas and Diego Costa.
Yeah, but
and they won the league for him.
Yeah, but they won the league, but ultimately he's the manager. And did he replace Sarri?
No, Sarri was after him. Sarri was after when he got sacked because they finished 11th season after winning league.
Is it back? Mourinho again? Don't know. But
they were after Mourinho, yeah.
Mourinho,
Conte.
I'm well off me. But anyway,
Conte, sorry,
I think Conte is a serial winner. I'll be honest.
Why is he not doing it at Spurs? I think after this,
because it's Spurs.
After the Sheffield United result, that's what.
Yeah, and I was very critical of his team selection because Spurs don't win anything, and he should have played a strong team. They're not going to do anything in the league, but the problem is, it's almost like being like how Arsene Wenger were at Arsenal. To be fair, started winning a lot of trophies, but in that period where they weren't winning trophies, Arsene Wenger just prioritised finishing in the top four.
Top four, yeah.
And that's all. Probably Daniel Levy wants. He's probably not asked by anything. He's just saying, let's get in the top four. We want to play Champions League football.
Just for the money, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not, and that's where, as a fan, you'd be fed up with your owner. Like, yeah, great, we get to play in Champions League, but we're going to get knocked out
at Moscow on a Tuesday.
We're going to get knocked out in group stages every year.
Yeah,
that's no fun. You want to win the FA Cup, you want to win the League Cup, you want to win them trophies, because all they do is get berated off Arsenal, Chelsea, because they're shite.
For not winning trophies.
Yeah, because that, you know what I mean? And like the trophy cabinet and all the rest of it. So even if, like, you'd say like, a couple of years of just let's just win something, or try and prioritise winning something over top four. But the businessmen aren't they?
But I think like the squad they've got, they should be able to finish at top four and win a trophy.
Well, yeah, obviously. But
it's not as simple as that.
You know what I mean?
Right, go on, next one.
Don't
want to say it next one now.
I've got Steve McLaren.
Again, who rates him?
No, how many jobs has he had?
Yeah,
you
true.
I did get.
He's probably one of the best assistant managers of all time.
Did he get Middlesbrough to? Were you managing Middlesbrough when they got to
League Cup final?
Wally with the Brolly.
Or was that?
Was that not Southgate?
Was that Southgate?
No, Southgate wouldn't have got him to. Because he's next on my list.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, of course he is. So look at me, Scottish. I just think Steve McLaren as just some is. But even now, who's the assistant now? Where's he at? Is he back at United? With Ten Hag? I think he is.
Might be,
doing something like coaching or something. How's he wangled that job?
Get the band back together.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, Benny McCarthy should be strikers coach.
Well, we could do him down here playing Sunday.
Obviously, a good job with Rashford.
Imagine Benny McCarthy trying to teach Gallagher. Just whip it, bottom in like that. What?
How'd you do that? What fun did you do that with?
I'm going to go pressing that. No, Benny's like, no, don't do that. don't bother running around.
You're keeping the eyes. Like, show him putting him in that corner, opposite corner down there.
But I think for some reason he's still in football, coaching, doing all this, and it's like, how?
Yeah.
Just how?
That Newcastle job was mad, weren't it, that he had?
It's just thinking, and then he got like a Derby job. It's like, who's banking on Steve McLaren?
Yeah.
It was proper toxic at Newcastle when he was manager.
Yeah,
it was Pardew as well.
That's because he was such a Middlesbrough hero for winning the League Cup and getting him to like
just horrendous.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean. So you look at some of the clubs that have won the League Cup compared to some big teams. So you like from when we've been, but so from '95.
Yeah.
You know, and then you talk about Everton and Tottenham and whatever. They're shite clubs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Newcastle won nothing. Average club in a big city. That's all they are.
Birmingham won League Cup, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leicester won it twice in a row, didn't they?
Yeah,
just before we won it.
Yeah. Won the FA Cup, won the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Portsmouth won FA Cup.
Yeah. That was an awful final, weren't it? Portsmouth and Cardiff.
2-1 or something like that.
The Wanku Khan who scored, didn't he? Off his thigh from about a yard out. Gareth Southgate's an obvious one. Don't know how he's stayed in the job this long.
Yeah.
His squad's been selected today. After not playing Tony at the World Cup, he's now picked him for a squad after his allegations have come out and he's on trial for it.
I'm surprised FA have allowed it, do you know what I mean? Cause,
well, the FA pick it, don't they, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's not his, you know what I mean? So
I just think he could have done a lot more with the England squad he had. And
well, he still has.
Some of the decisions in the Italy final especially, I think if it had been more positive at 1-0,
yeah, I agree.
They could have got on 1-0.
He got the major decisions in that game, substitutes especially, got it completely wrong.
Like, his squad selections are mad. So like, I've seen it a lot on Rovers Twitter recently. Like people are going, I can't believe Hyam's not in the Scotland squad. Is it best to take that guy? Right. Well, international managers pick players they trust. Right. So he's picked Hanley, Port. He's going to play a back five. Steve Clarke at Scotland. So he's going to have Robertson at left back, Tierney left centre half, Hanley, Porteous, and Patterson.
I think Hanley's past it.
He's always been good for Scotland though. And I think the back.
He's fucking slow in it, man. He's carrying a piano every week.
I know, but the middle of as the middle of a back five, like the deepest one, he plays. He's like a quarterback because he can ping a ball.
He instantly puts you 30 yards back.
Yeah. I mean, Scotland defend like Scotland. We were playing Spain, and Cyprus. We're going to be on the road box.
They're not going to have to rate in your box.
Look at all these Cyprus strikers are good. But yeah, and I think Hyam will eventually get that chance. Either
he's surely good enough to be in the squad. I'm not saying play, but to be in the squad. Who else is in that centre half of Scotland? Who's like? I mean, anybody in Dog and Duck League in Scotland aren't going to play. Aren't going to be better than Dom Hyam.
He trusts them players, right? And then he'll pick Hyam for either Nations League block or a friendly block. He won't pick him for 2 qualifiers. Not a chance. Because it's all like it's more. I think international football's gone to it's like club football now. where everyone has to like each other and stuff. You don't just meet up and play football.
Yeah,
you meet up in a group and everyone has to get on, don't they? You can't have bringing strings.
At some point, you've got but if you're good enough, you play.
Trying to have a go at Southgate, and that is one good thing he has done with the England lads, where it is now, where it used to be so like, United lads just stuck to themselves in Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, you hear stories, don't you, like Scholes and stuff like that, and they say like we didn't Neville say we didn't mix with Liverpool because we didn't like them at the club level.
They showed on the pitch.
They said like the weekend before he wanted to break the legs, so like they couldn't go and like have lunch with him and play a game together. Which that was football back then. Everyone was more competitive, weren't they? Whereas now it's all about like taking Instagram photos and
TikToks.
Like picking Calvin Phillips in this squad. He's not kicked a ball since.
I know, and that's
where Rovers manager.
But that's where you've just made a comment about international football is to pick players to trust. So Southgate's doing the same there, but at some point,
he's picking his favourites.
But at some point, I mean, if Sterling had one leg, he'd pick him. I'm surprised he's not picked him even though he's injured because he's been horrendous for Chelsea.
Plays like he's got one leg.
But then he'll go, well, for England, yeah, he's good. Yeah, but at some point, for me as an England fan, we're at the next point now. I'm going. We need the next generation of players coming in.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Jordan Henderson.
Yeah,
he's
Sterling.
offering you absolutely nothing because he ain't going to play in the next tournament. Don't pick him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Players like that, you need to be moving forward. You've got to be picking players who think, right, these are potential starting 11 players for me in my next tournament, and that's how it should be. You don't need to be picking players on merit. You've had your tournament. Your merit's gone now.
Yeah.
You've done nothing. We start afresh. We go again. Anyway.
In terms of results, though, in tournaments, he's England's most successful manager since Ralph Ramsey.
Against who, though?
Yeah, but I mean, you'll say against us, but end of the day,
Who beat what's in front of you?
Well, you can, which is just a fact. Do you know what I mean?
Scotland can.
Scotland can. No, but ultimately, we have been horrendous. You'll know it as as I have growing up. We've been horrendous in tournaments. So to actually do okay,
you not think back then international football's a better standard? Like you France and Italy, like Spain, were all top.
I just think they were better managers. I don't think that the standard of football has changed. I think there's just bad managers now. There's not as many world class managers.
Yeah.
You can go back to like France and Brazil. To be fair, you can argue players. Yeah, when you look at that Brazil team in 2002, 98, 2002. I mean, every player was a superstar.
Yeah.
Where now, like France team in that final, you're probably going, there's 3 or 4 good players.
Yeah.
One great player. But like that Brazil team, when they played France and you had Henry, Zidane, Vieira, brilliant players.
It's different levels,
you know
isn't
what I mean? Yeah. So I get
like the 2002 Brazil team, the front 3 were probably the best front 3 in the world.
Yeah. And they all played for the same team.
Yeah.
So,
and you still have like Gilberto and
Cafu,
yeah.
Roberto Carlos at back. Yeah. All superstars, you know what I mean?
Right, one more manager. You got another manager?
I've got Pep.
I've got Pep on my list as well.
I've got Pep.
Lewis is going to disagree with that. He's going to hate that.
I am.
Right, go on. What's your argument against?
Because I feel like it's more of a not sentimental thing, but it's because like with the age I am, like his Barca team was like the first best team that I remember. Do you know what I mean? So it was like,
is that down to him or is that down to the talent that was in that team? He didn't buy any of them players.
No, he didn't.
Xavi and Iniesta was already there.
And they were in the prime.
Yeah. Danny Alves he bought from Sevilla after he won. It's not like he discovered him. Right.
And he had Messi in the form of his life. Scoring
Victor Valdez was already there. Puyol was already there. Piqué was already there.
The base of the team was already there. Yeah. The spine of the team was there.
Did Hullet not win the Champions League before? Not Hullet. Who am I thinking of? Rijkaard. Not win the Champions League the year before he took over.
Did they? I don't think he did.
They beat Arsenal 2-0.
That was 2007, that pal. When did he take over?
That's 2008, wasn't it? 2008, 2009?
2006 Arsenal got to the final.
Or 6 or 7, I think.
Right.
Arsenal were poor that day as well. I remember watching that.
Well, Lehmann got sent off early on, didn't he? That cost him the game.
No. It was 2006 because Liverpool got to the final again in 2007.
2007, yeah.
So it must have been 2006.
So it's a couple of years before then.
Yeah. But still, that team was still left over at Barcelona. He probably brought in. He didn't even bring in Henry. I think Henry was the.
No, he must have brought in Henry.
No. I think it's 2008, 2009 when he took over me. Did he win it in 2009, 2010 when Messi scored that header?
I'm sure it was 08 till
and then won it in
2012 because he won like 14 trophies in 4 years, which is ridiculous.
I mean, they had a good team. I think
what he's done at City to get those players to that level again and again, to keep that level of desire.
Spent 150 million on free left back. It's simple as
I get
that.
what you're saying. He's got an unlimited.
He bought Claudio Bravo to replace Joe Hart because Hart weren't good enough. He was best keeper in the country before then, and then he bought Claudio Bravo. He weren't good enough after 2 mistakes, so he spent 80 million on Edison, who's been good enough. Left backs, he's brought about 20 since he came to City.
I'd like to know how much he spends on left backs because, like I say, I think one year he did buy free, or in the space of 18 months, he spent 150 million on free left backs.
Stones, Laporte, Otamendi, Demichelis.
But how many great
Mangala?
How many great teams and how many great managers do you see? You know, when they win stuff like that. What's happened with Mourinho at Chelsea twice, where it's like, you know, they've achieved great things, and the next season it's just all gone sour. It's something that's happened with Mourinho. It's all kicked off, and it's just over.
I think that's just Mourinho's ego. I'm not saying like, because I would say Mourinho isn't necessarily overrated because he won the Champions League with Porto. And that's
no, but you can't say Mourinho's overrated.
He's absolutely massive.
He's a serial winner. You're talking about like
Conte's a serial winner though, but like,
not on the same level as Mourinho.
No, I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying I do also think he's a serial winner. But Mourinho's he's past that. But
I think Pep's made football worse in the country as well.
But I think people are like,
but by encouraging this playing out from the back,
possession for possession's sake. I can't watch City, mate. I watched the first 10 minutes the other night. I know they won 7-0 and that, but honestly,
it's lethargic though.
The only reason they beat teams is because they fall asleep. Like, that bored watching them centre back, goalkeeper, centre back, goalkeeper.
And I get it, beat the squeeze and all that lot, but it's lacklustre. So,
do you think it's like got rid of like variety? It's just like everyone wants to play that way now. That could be a problem. It's
not just that. It's because he spent so much money, you can't compete. So even if he had a different style of play, you can't compete with him anyway. It's like Thomason doesn't play that way. He plays 4-2-4 with bombing on wingers, but like unless he had the bankroll of what City have and could buy the 2 best wingers in the world and the best number 9 and the best cam, like you're not gonna compete with him. And I think every team's like Liverpool have a different style of play, but I know like Klopp spent a lot of money recently, but like he's had Robertson for years, Trent for years, like spent a lot of money on Van Dijk, and like Henderson's been there for years. City will go out and spend another 150 million to improve their positions and get them back up there.
So they bought Grealish, they spent a lot of money on Calvin Phillips, and like they're barely getting team. Do you know what I mean? A lot of players, but I mean Stones started getting it team, but it took him years to get an actual foothold of his position.
If there weren't registration rules on English players, he wouldn't have a single English player in his team.
No, you're probably right. Kyle Walker, I mean, mediocre, innit?
I don't agree with that.
Why is he buying Grealish? Why is he buying Calvin Phillips? It's worth 2 foreign players. Every English player.
That's the reason why they have Scott Carson.
Yeah, exactly. On the third choice.
The guy's 45.
If you're an English goalkeeper, you could get a third choice job absolutely in any club in the country.
Yeah.
Live it dream.
Yeah, United signed league grants or whatever. Yeah. So it's, so
every English player is worth 2 foreign players in the Premier League. That's the way to look at it.
For me, though, with Guardiola, it's a case of like longevity and just like having that relentlessness just to go again, just to maintain that level.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not that he's not successful. I just feel like if he'd have had to start out like there's probably. Could you imagine if you had to start out at Valencia or even go, Sevilla, Atletico Madrid or something like that? He wouldn't be where he is.
No.
He'd still be relatively successful though.
Well, but then I'd probably rate him more as a manager. But I think because he's just gone Barcelona, Bayern Munich to Man City, he's just inherited good teams and he's had money. So he's not had to prove himself to an extent, because when you have, especially at Man City, when you've got a blank check and you can buy whoever you want, it's hard not to win that league, them cups.
And I think he's at the point where he doesn't improve players, he just buys another one. Like, I think when he had Joe Hart and he said, his distribution was, you could work on that. Like Ange at Celtic has worked on it and he can still play out. I mean, he makes mistakes every now and again, but you can't just go, you're not good enough, I'm going to buy another one.
But that's where it is. So, like Rob was mentioning about like Thomason, like he hasn't got that ability to do that. He's probably looking at our team going, 70 years of shite, but. You know what I mean? I've got to build 11. But And he'd want this and that. Where Pep can do that. So you've got managers who are probably great managers, great coaches, but haven't got that facility to be able to express themselves and put themselves to that next level.
Yeah.
So they have to sort of go, left, right, up, move sideways, take a sideways step sometimes to try and progress the way that way until they ultimately get a good job. Graham Potter's probably a good example of that. All right, to an extent, he's struggling at Chelsea, but I think he's struggling at Chelsea because one, that Ted Ball is just buying anybody and anything that fucking moves, and the fact that
any attacking player that
because Graham Potter is clearly a great coach. Do you know what I mean? Did it really in Sweden with Osterend, whatever, and then Brighton they massively overachieve. Punch out like the manager they've got now, the replacement was doing obviously brilliant again, but give him a year when he gets his own team, it might change.
Yeah,
but like for Potter,
I think that's what's gone wrong with Brendan Rodgers this year at Leicester, because you look at that team, it's probably close to the team that he inherited. Still got Jamie Vardy and Nacho up front. I think if you give him like 100
did he
million,
not sign Nacho? I think he did.
They're not on loan from Chelsea when he first got there.
City.
Come from City.
City, well. He looks like a Chelsea striker. Right. Quiz first, Sheffield United first. Quiz to end.
Yeah.
Right. Sheffield United Sunday. Big
Here
day.
we go.
I'm sweating.
Already. Palms are sweating.
What team you going with?
Well, I think
Well.
Pers plays it now.
I think your back line picks itself. I think you go in Rankin Costello, you go in Carter, you go in Hayam.
Does Britain not come back in?
No. No.
Costello midfield.
For me, Britain goes right back, Costello goes right wing where Thomas plays, just because where the overlapping centre backs he can double up with Britain coming back the way. Andy still gives it you going forward. That's
My biggest concern on Sunday is Tyler Morton.
What is that? He's going to do something stupid?
I just don't think he's good enough.
inevitable.
You know what I mean? All right, you could argue, he threaded that pass last night to Gallagher and he got that assist. But I mean, it was a basic pass. But other than that, he had a bad game. He weren't brilliant. And I just think
game's passing by, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think he's in central midfield. He sticks out like a sore thumb. So when he does, and I think he's such a confidence player that once he does one or two bad passes, we're already on his back because he's shite and his head's gone. His head's gone at that point, and I think he's struggling. And then it's an uphill battle for him then. I wouldn't be surprised to see a change in midfield. It might be a shock of like an Adam Wharton plays Sunday. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if he goes in there. Or he does play Rankin Costello in the middle, something like that.
Because you don't see Garrett coming in just because
Garrett,
of how physical they are in the middle.
Possibly,
Ollie Norwood's a little.
But then your argument is then you're going to go. Well, Travis is definitely going to get booked. Garrett's going to get booked. Then you're struggling all potentially for 70 minutes because they both get booked early on because they'll just go through them.
Yeah.
So
it's up to referee to manage, isn't it? Because Norwood and Sanderberg are going to go through someone. So.
Yeah. But yeah,
I do think it will be that kind of game. It's going to, just because of what's at stake.
Yeah, tension.
And the kind of team they are, that emotions are going to run high. There's going to be tackles flying in.
It's going to be
because he should have been sent. Basham should be sent off in the league game.
It's going to be a very physical game. That Basham's arguably one of the worst footballers I've ever seen.
He skinned about 8 of us.
I know, but you just watch him and it's like he is how I play football and he's horrendous. If he can play professional football, I can. He's shite. And they love him down there. They think he's a fucking hell.
Beckenbauer.
You know what I mean? They think he's absolutely
6'5"
Beckenbauer. Watch him play
Beckenbauer.
football, and he's never gets football in his life. He's horrendous, and he's just milking it. I don't know what's going on. He's like Lee Williamson. Just I don't know how they do it. Some players just get through, don't they?
I'm expecting that side of the game on Sunday to kind of beach the football at times. Really, it's going to be quite slow. Almost a bit. It's going to be when you watch England in big knockout games and it feels like a bit of a struggle. I
think it's going to be.
I feel like it's going to be like that.
It'll be a cagey game.
Yeah.
But they're just going to pump the ball and just pump it like I said,
towels everywhere.
There's just like Tony Pulis-esque for me. They were just everything was very, very
take it leather off ball.
Very, very direct, and he'll probably
gave him a few chances.
He ain't going to play the same team that played us on that Saturday. He he will have to make a change, and he'll be looking at that game. Well, what do we do? And he'll probably say, well, they bullied us off park. Because I remember I went to Bramall Lane for early in the season, and they just bullied us off the park.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. You know what I mean? We were just second best to everything, and they were just a lot bigger and just overpowered us.
Yeah.
So Travis has to be on his A game on Sunday. Has to be. I think he's paramount to how we're going to play on Sunday. He needs to be on it, like he were when we played him at home. He has to be on it, because I think when we played Sheffield United, he got a challenge straight away, didn't he, early on with it by their fullback.
Yeah.
And that just set him up, because he'd love that.
The worst thing you can do is kick Travis early.
He'd
on.
love that.
Worst
He'd
thing
have
you
been
can
going, get it, do you know what I mean? Like, that just set the tone
It's
for
like
the
a
game.
license for him, innit?
Yeah, it's like, right, we're
Thanks
playing.
for that.
Right, that's it. I'll show you big dick and shower room is, you know what I mean? We're playing. So, but yeah.
5,800 of us going down.
Class, isn't it? It's going to be some noise that. Some away. I mean, obviously we all went Leicester, didn't we? I mean, that was class, wasn't it? Like,
Leicester's best away I've been in.
It was unbelievable.
The more I look back and the more I think about it,
It was so loud.
the way we're bouncing, the way the stand we're bouncing were unreal.
I just can't remember a game where we sang for 70 minutes because it were nervous for the last 15, weren't it? But but I mean, even at half time, obviously I saw it at half time, and in concourse they were still singing. It was like the Bulls were unreal. You know what I mean? It was like, it's half time, chill out, have a pie, have a pint, and it was just like
singing with sausage roll and golf.
Class. And I just thought, I mean, obviously I've been to some games, but that was up there for me, definitely. Top 5.
Looking forward to it now.
But I think 5,800.
The nerves are bubbling away, aren't they?
It's going to be hard to watch the games on Saturday because it's a Sunday early kick-off. Because I don't know.
There's only one, to be fair. It's only one quarter.
It's got the 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock.
I don't know where they sourced under 100 tickets from. Have they just took some of that black things that they have a couple
Yeah,
of
but it's
front
segregation, won't it? Yeah. I will peel that back a row.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the top.
When you put on Twitter yesterday, it's like toilets.
Toilets. Women's toilets. Ticket. Women's toilets, cubicle 3.
There's 15 of us in here.
Steward, checking tickets.
Excuse me, this is my seat.
You sit down, please. No, stand up. I'm buzzing for it now.
Sorry, so going back to the team, I just got sidetracked on it big time. It's got to be. I think Dawn has to play just because of the energy. Obviously, Sober Thomas is cup tied, isn't he? So Gallagher, Smodics. Are you putting Brereton? Where are you putting Dawn? You're going to put him on right, but
Hedges coming. He's played well last 2 games. Come on, and gets the winning goal.
I know he scored, but he's another player who'd sooner pass it than shoot. I know he's obviously scored, but you watch.
We're all like that the last night.
But like last night, there was a chance where I think he cut in. You're thinking it's on your left foot, pull it, and he passed it. And I'm like,
he passed it to Costello, who were a yard away, and he weren't facing goal. And I was like, he could not be in a better position.
Just smash the fucking ball.
Start Hedges, and if the game's like a bit tight, maybe like 65-70, bring Dolan on for that.
Yeah,
extra pace.
It's harsh on Dolan though, isn't it?
It is harsh, but
I think with the overlapping fullbacks and overlapping centre backs, you can understand not starting Dolan, but
I mean, I don't know. I feel like
just thinking right now, like you just.
I feel sick. I won't lie to be Thomason picking two.
Obviously, that's the only place he probably has a conundrum in it. Is up front, that forward three, because the rest he hasn't got much
leeway.
The midfielder, right? You could probably pick 2 or 3 alongside Travis, but it's only that one position.
Yeah, I do think there'll be a shock and Adam Water might play.
Well, he tries to do that in big games, like starting Clinton Morland at Burnley away.
That was horrendous, wasn't it? But I think Adam Morton's probably better than Morton. Like, you've got a lad who's from our academy, our player.
Who knows what it means.
Why, as a Blackburn lad, why would you not play him? Yeah. Why would you not want to develop him? The similar ages as Morton. Like, I get it now, obviously, it talks about that. Obviously, there's obviously a clause, but after January, he's clearly gone, well, you haven't fucking given me Lewis O'Brien, he's out of the fucking team because he's bobbins.
I think the clause, there must have been around 30 appearances because he got to that state, he got to 30 appearances and he was just gone.
Yeah.
So it must have been something to do with that.
So like now, you can see that, but take no away, I thought the first half against Leicester, Morton were brilliant. Well, he had a good game.
But he gave that ball away once straight after the second half.
And his head had gone off. His head had gone off his shoulders. And you could see it, and I'm going, take him off. And I do feel like sometimes JDT is slow to react that's probably one negative I have with JT. I think sometimes like we're on the stands and you're thinking
you can see it coming.
He's shiting, he's struggling. You know what I mean? Just take him off. They're having a bad game, and I just feel like he's probably trying to put a bit of trust and say, look, he might be saying to him, look, 10 more minutes.
Yeah,
let's run it off.
Yeah.
But I feel like Morton's such a confidence player that someone like Adam Wharton, they won't prep for him. They won't be prepping for him to be in that middle of the park.
That's what I think. Like they'll be doing their analysis, and then he might just throw in a change.
Just throw him in, and they're going to go loud about. We don't even know who this lad is, because he's quite unorthodox.
Who's going to mark him at corners? This 5'8", 6 stone lad.
No, but he's quite unorthodox, and he wants to play forward. Which, if you're going to have Brereton and Dolan on the wings, it suits us.
I don't want to ask for predictions, but to get to Wembley, how good would that be?
It'd mean everything.
Yeah.
Like I know we've still got a chance for promotion, and like the playoffs is a big goal for us this season, but I mean, we've been close a lot of times, and we've still not been to New Wembley, and I just feel like we're not going to get a chance as good as this for a long time. I don't think.
For me,
I think how bad we've been in the FA and in the cups like the last 6-7 years as well. Like it's like come out the blue as well, and to be at a quarter final against another championship team. I just don't think you get a better opportunity.
Just to go down there and like walk up Wembley way and just to watch Rovers there.
I mean, what I don't know what allocation we'll get, but
for semi, I think it's like 30.
30 plus.
Yeah. And I think we'll sell it out. I don't think it'll be a question if we sell it out. I think it'll be brilliant. I think like if we'd already been to Wembley, I'd be saying, I want to get us playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to get back to Prem. But
it's just that one day, yeah.
But like, it's not even that. It's like League Cup, but FA Cup. It's the cup in it. That's the cup. If you're going to win any cup, it's the FA Cup.
Do you not think because we're now 5 points into the playoffs, we're almost more focused on the FA Cup because we almost look like to get playoffs anyway?
Well, yeah, I think it helps that we've got an international break coming up, so he doesn't have to worry about resting players. You haven't got to play. You haven't got a game midweek. Where what happens now? Obviously, it's tempting fate again if we do win, and we get to FA Cup final. That midweek we play Burnley, which is a massive game. But to me, it's irrelevant if we're going to get to FA Cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to play Brighton or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Because then you've got a chance of going. Well, we'll go to the final here. Do you know what I mean?
That's good. Nice, calm down, Dad.
But I don't know. I just feel like that'll have a different edge because it depends on where we are in the league come then.
Yeah.
It's how we're going to play in the FA Cup. But I feel like we get there, it's irrelevant. We can go get there and go get sub 5-0 and be like, well, we've had a day out at Wembley.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, obviously, I don't want to see us to lose, 5-0. But
I've no expectations for Sunday. Give me a goal to celebrate, a meaningful goal to celebrate. 6,000 wasn't it away end of the FA Cup quarter final. It's like when we went to Anfield that time. 6,000 was there. Yeah, if we'd have just scored a goal, that moment, like no one will take that moment away from you. That's like we went 2-0 up at Leicester.
Oh yeah, it's euphoric, isn't it?
Yeah, even though it's just beating Leicester in the FA Cup, even if we get beat on Sunday, it means nothing. But for that moment, it meant everything. Like you just.
And I was in the car. I think there was two lads. I think one was 14, one was 13. And I said to him, you'll remember this for the rest of your life, like that.
Listen on radio in car park.
No, but I said like that's like massive. Do you know what I mean? So I'm doing anything when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? Obviously,
it's like when we
spoiled as a kid.
When we played Sheff Wednesday in League Cup semi-final, I look back on them times. I think I didn't enjoy it because I thought this would happen forever. I thought we'd always be going to finals and stuff.
And Nicole's debut with class. You know what I mean?
I just think like now what I'd give to be 4-2 up in a semi-final, like guaranteed to go to the final.
Yeah. But I don't know, like you said,
let's just enjoy it. Let's everyone enjoy it. And
obviously, like we're talking about Leicester with class. I feel Sunday. I mean, that atmosphere, and especially if we,
let's just get in it. Let's just get in early. Let's cheer them warm up. Every shot that goes, we want to celebrate like it's a goal.
Gallagher shoes.
Get behind the line.
Straight up at
Set cover.
But it'll be brilliant, and I think it's just massive for the club, innit?
I'm ready to go on. I can't wait. I
just want to go to bed and wake up Sunday morning.
Yeah, good night.
Right, quiz time. I've been flying here. Right, you know how the quiz works, done it before, obviously. Did you win last time?
No, I think he beat me.
No, okay. So,
some dodgy questions.
Do you want to go first or second?
I think I went first last time, so I'll go second this time.
Right, Lewis 1-10.
This is a belter of a quiz, apparently.
It's a good one this week.
If I know the answer, can
Right,
I
Lewis,
swap?
what colour are you, Lewis? What colour do you want to be, blue or red?
Blue.
Right, Dan, you're red. Right, okay, what question? 1 or 10? 1, 2, 10.
Let's go number 10.
Which company sponsored the FA Cup the last time it reached the semi-final stage?
Wowzers. Good question, that.
So, 2007. Budweiser.
Nope.
2005, 2006, it would have been...
It wasn't that year.
Oh, the quarterfinal. Oh, when we were at Liverpool.
No.
What did you just say?
FA Cup semi-final stage.
What, last time Rovers did?
Yeah.
So 2003, 2004, 2004, 2005.
Or 6 or 7 at Old Trafford.
Oh, yeah.
It's Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah. Oh,
So,
God,
oh yeah, I mean, you've guessed
Oh, I think
Budweiser.
I know who it is
Budweiser.
now.
Go on, who do you think it is?
Fire Emirates.
Oh, guess, like...
N-Power.
No. Eon.
Oh, that's
Eon,
unlucky.
yeah.
The options
I think
were...
that's some kind of red company.
the Red Company.
Yeah, cool.
Right, Mike?
Alright.
The options were Budweiser, AXA, Eon and McDonald's.
Pretty much straightforward, bro.
Right, Dan, any apart from 10?
6.
You'll know this one. In the Sheffield United song, Greasy Chip Butty, fans sing about a gallon of Magnet, but what type of alcohol is Magnet?
Bitter.
Correct, bitter. 2 points for Dan.
Pressure's on now.
Right, Lewis, any apart from 6?
3.
Fulham have only won one of their last 25 visits to Man United, a 3-1 victory in 2003. But which former Rover was the manager of the Whites that afternoon?
Oh, I know it.
It's not your question.
I know.
Options, please.
Options.
Yeah.
Was it A, Roy Hodgson, B, Chris Coleman, C, Nicky Reed, or D, Mickey Adams?
Go again.
A, Roy Hodgson, B, Chris Coleman, C, Nicky Reed, or D, Mickey
What's
Adams?
the question again?
Are you joking?
Which former Rover?
Which former Rover was the manager of the Whites that
Alright, yeah, I
afternoon?
know.
Mickey Reed.
No. Do you know it?
Rick Coleman.
Who?
Coleman.
Chris Coleman, yeah. Right, Lewis is 0, but there is a bonus question. Which former Rovers manager was assistant manager at Fulham that day?
God.
Former Rovers manager.
For a bonus point. Try and claw your way back in. That's call time.
I don't know.
Is it about Henny Berger?
Guess what? Guess one of the managers. The most random manager you can think of.
Manager.
Can I have a guess?
I don't know. Roy Hodgson.
No.
Brian Kidd.
No. Steve Keane.
Steve Keane.
Was he?
Fulham's assistant manager. I watched I was doing like the quiz and I watched the video of the highlights. I saw him at bench like, what are you doing there?
Smash TV up.
Right, Dan, any apart from 3, 6 or 10?
7.
What is the final word of the song We Are the Champions by Queen?
Options. Probably should know it really.
Well, just sing it.
I know, but go on.
A, world. B, losers. C, champions. D, friend.
The final word of the song.
Yeah. The last word sung in the song. Sing it.
Sorry, say the options again. I can't think. I had something completely. Robert's MacBook. We are.
What is the final word of the song We Are the Champions by Queen? A, world. B, losers. C, champions. Or D, friend.
World. Is it? No?
What is it?
Champions.
It is champions. So I thought it was like We Are the Champions of the world
It's
at the
more-
end.
Is it called the Mandela Effect?
Mandela effect, yeah. And it just ends.
He always sings of the world, like when it's live.
Yeah.
In the actual.
Oh, right, was too busy looking at my live aid 1981 or something.
Right, Lewis. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8 or 9.
It's a random question, by the way. That.
I've been listening to it.
Number
I'm
8.
going to win FA Cup. Top favourites mix.
God. 8.
8. Which country will be represented the most in the Champions League quarterfinals this year? Told you it was a good quiz.
Options.
What do you mean options?
Options.
A. England, B. Spain, C. Germany, D. Italy. What other countries are going to be? Turkey.
Right. Well, England have got 2, haven't they?
Is that your answer?
Can't be Spain.
Singing some karaoke on Friday.
What?
Got singing some karaoke on Friday.
Is it England?
It's not. It's Italy with 3. Inter, AC and Napoli.
Oh, teams. Okay.
Right, Dan. 9, 5, 4, 2, 1.
1.
Since the first round, no team has scored more goals than Grimsby Town, but which other team is level with them with 15 goals?
Options, please.
What do you mean? A. Brighton and Hove Albion, B. Man United, C. Wrexham, or D. Sheffield United.
I'm trying to think of teams who've played. Wrexham are going to have played a lot of games, aren't they? So we're going to have round 1, round 2, round 3. They get to round 4, and they had a replay.
I can't remember.
It was 2-2, was it? And then they almost scored to get beat at Sheffield United. And Wrexham.
Wrexham is correct. 15. 1 point for you. Dancy 3-0 up. Right, Lewis. 2, 4, 5 or 9.
2.
Since the Premier League's inception, so in 92-93,
Yeah.
only one team has made 5 consecutive FA Cup semi-finals, a record that City could match this weekend by beating Burnley. Who was that
Jesus
team?
Christ.
I think it's one of 2 teams. Just getting the right team. His head.
It's one of these four.
What's the score at the minute?
3-0 to Dan.
Right, so I've got to go for straight answer, really,
Yeah.
haven't I?
Think about it. Think like a successful FA Cup team in recent years.
Well, the most successful FA Cup team are Arsenal, but I don't know whether it is Arsenal or not. United.
Arsenal. Yeah, of course it was.
It was Arsenal.
Going on.
Right, Dan, 4, 5 or 9.
Let's go 5. Please.
Last night's beautiful back heel was only Sam's second assist of the season. Who was the other against?
No idea.
No, we didn't play them.
I know it.
Options.
A. Preston North End, B. Borough, C. Rotherham, or D. West Bromwich Albion.
That's what I thought it was.
Who scored against Preston? Dak did. Fell to him. Gallagher's looking on.
It fell to him.
Gallagher's looking on. I'm sure it was just a scramble.
Trying to draw a game in your head.
yeah. But are we
Diaz,
counting? Are we counting?
Flicking it onto Lenny and
Lenny
field.
Flag, what does that count? And then who's the other 2?
Rotherham or West Bromwich Albion.
Rotherham. Sam Smolly scored, didn't he? Not assist. Rotherham.
West Bromwich Albion.
Oh, fucking hell, I can see it.
He touched it down for Diaz to smash from like 25 yards.
Oh.
It wasn't going to assist, he just controlled it for him.
Well, Leicester. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Oh, it can't have been it. Oh, is this for Smodich's goal?
Yeah. It's an assist.
Smodich kicked it off about 6 centre-backs before he got it. No,
Listen,
Sam's not having that.
Listen, corruption at its finest.
Right, still 3-0. Well, Lewis, you can't come back now, but do you want 4 or 9?
4.
Who did Sheffield United beat in the quarter-final of the FA Cup to send them to Wembley to face eventual runners-up Hull City?
That is a tough question. I remember watching that semi-final. Did they lose 4-1? I think they did. They got pagged off Hull.
Who did?
Sheffield United, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. 5-3.
5-3. Oh, 4-1 well away, weren't it? Who did they play?
Connor Cody played up front for Sheffield United.
Also beat McFarland, didn't they? Beat them.
Aaron Ramsey scored.
Yeah, 3-2.
Just 1-0, wasn't it?
Did Hull not go like 2-0 or something?
Can't remember. I just remember Ramsey's half volley for bottom. Yeah.
Options.
A. Millwall, B. Crystal Palace, C. Charlton Athletic, or D. Sheffield Wednesday.
Millwall.
Charlton Athletic.
Wow, I did not know that.
Sheffield United were in League One at the time. Charlton were in Championship. Right, Dan, you're 3-0 up with your last question to go anyway. So, JDT once scored the winning goal in a UEFA Cup final, but which former Rover missed out on the final due to suspension?
These are hard this week.
We've not done a
What
quiz.
team was it for? Can you give me that? Can you say what team JDT scored for?
No.
What I want
Do
to
we
say.
tell you the answer now?
No, but what I want to say. Well, I'm going to ask for the options. I'm not thinking it's Feyenoord. And who I want to say is the Dutch centre half.
Who?
No, I can't say because then
Jan-Paul Van Eyck.
No. I want to say Andrew, but I'm not going to say him.
Okay.
Is he in the options?
He's not in the options, no.
I'm trying to think who else to play for. Put it for Feyenoord. A Feyenoord won the UEFA Cup. No idea. Options, please.
Is it A. Andre Oyer? Is it A. Marcus Babbel, B. Lorenzo Amoruso, C. Dino Baggio, or D. Brett Emerton?
Baggio. No.
Brett Emerton.
For who?
For Feyenoord.
Oh,
That game before he signed for us, but he got booked at semi-final.
wounded.
So Dan runs out 3-0 winner.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, disappointing results.
Clean sheet quiz. Right, so that's us done for another week. Cheers, Dan, for coming on again.
Problem.
So,
Hat-trick ball next time.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone enjoy
we'll
Sunday's
try to
game.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we'll be back
Loud and proud. That voice.
when we're sober.
Depends if I win.
If we lose, we'll see after international break. Right, cheers everyone. Enjoy the game.
Let's hope we get to Wembley.
See you in a bit.